Hey girl.
Hey mama.
Ready to get unschooled?
Totally.
Welcome to Moms Unschooled,
where we break down all the things from the mundane to the magnificent, so you can think for yourself and do what's right for you.
Hey Erin.
Hey Sarah.
Welcome to Moms Unschooled.
We just talked last week about how New Year's resolutions totally suck. New Year's resolutions are bunk, y'all. Yeah. So instead of talking about how bunk they are this week, I wanted to change it, flip the coin, and talk about the challenges that we talked about last week. Christina Tiplia had an article called 15 30-day challenge ideas that will change your life. And I kind of wanted to see what y'all thought about them. 30-day challenges can make a huge difference in our lives, how we see the world, create a positive impact on our day. It can help us gain some self-confidence, feel empowered, and then eventually, you could be a dream achiever, y'all. And this 30 days, I think, is so important because instead of this ginormous New Year's resolution for an entire 52 weeks, you've got a 30-day challenge that is more manageable, easier to bite off, and you can actually just grow that. Maybe if you're successful that first 30 days, you can grow it from then on.
I like that. And you can start it at any time. So if at any time you're noticing that you need to pivot your goals or change certain things, you can start a 30-day challenge. You don't have to wait, till January and then it kind of fell off.
Yeah, now I'm going to wait till the next January 1. No way. I'm going to start tomorrow and feel happier, healthier, and maybe even more adventurous. There are so many benefits by just starting tomorrow.
Love it.
The first one they say is quit a bad habit that bothers you. So tomorrow, maybe I want to stop drinking Diet Coke. That's the one thing I'm going to change out of my daily habits for the next 30 days and see how I feel.
Got it.
How do you feel about that one?
About Diet Coke specifically?
Nah, not Diet Coke. A bad habit.
A bad habit. I like that. So maybe one is like yelling as a parent.
Ooh.
That would be a good one.
I like that.
Okay.
And then, how did you do in that 30 days? Did you have less yelling days? I could see how that would start to create some more positivity.
I like that because the goal is not to just go cold turkey. If you yell once in those 30 days, you've ruined it. So it's more of putting aside a fresh 30 days and then evaluating how you did, but more making a conscious effort. And maybe your goal is instead of, okay, I'm never going to yell, just I'm going to reduce the number of times I yell, or I'm going to reduce the things I yell about, or something like that.
Stop and think first, take a breath, put it in perspective. That's hard to do in that first 5 milliseconds of being angry at our kids, I know. But, if we fall off the bandwagon one time, y'all, jump right back up and try again. It's all about, like we've said before, practice makes progress.
Good, like it. So bad habit is one.
Yeah, the second one she says is get outside. Do you think that would be a great thing for the next 30 days?
I do. It is quite cold and damp here often. But yes, because I think being outside can help bring a perspective change, especially since we've all been kind of stuck inside since not so much was super open last year and things like that. Okay, so getting outside. Does it say what to do outside though?
No, maybe you just take a brisk walk with the dog.
Okay.
Whatever it is, I like to do my outside time by myself. I like to go run or go for a walk in the morning by myself. I'm listening to my Audible, I'm listening to podcasts, or I'm not listening to anything at all. It gives me time to clear my brain, give me a sense of calm, and then I can go outside with the kids.
Okay. Are you doing all these 30-day challenges at once?
No.
Okay. So the bad habit is one.
Yeah, you do that for
Gotcha.
30 days.
Okay.
And see where you go with that. Maybe for the next 30 days, if you were successful in the Diet Coke, you can give up something else. Like say you want to give up smoking. Okay. And then, maybe just build on those bad habits or get outside. And if your 30-day challenge was to get outside every day for 30 days, maybe next month you can build on that. Maybe you decide to run your first 5K, or you completely can change to another 30-day challenge that excites you and motivates you.
Cool. Okay.
Like number 3, becoming a morning person.
I have a problem with this. I am a morning person, but I really believe that human beings are just productive at different times of the day based on like their own rhythms and energy and things like that. So I don't know why forcing someone to, quote, be a morning person. But I'm on board with maybe, let's hear it. What is the rationale behind why being a morning person can be positive for you? And maybe there's an unschooled way to go about it.
Well, I don't know. It's a pretty brief paragraph here in this particular article that we're discussing. For me personally, yes, I'm a morning person, and it just can't be setting my alarm and waking up. I have to make a concerted effort to wake up before my family. Now, yes, I have always been a morning person. Before kids, after kids, you name it, before marriage, I tend to be fresh and ready to go for the day if I've had a half hour to 45 minutes of nothing but my coffee and myself before the rest of the world wakes up.
Right. So for you, it's more about carving out space to be productive. It's not, quote, oh, be a morning person.
Yeah, and it may not even be productive for me. I mean, I might literally just cross-stitch or watch Netflix in the dark. I have just that quiet time for me waking up with a cup of coffee. I am more alert with a more sense of calm when the rest of the family wakes up and we are ready to start the day.
Got it.
Personally.
Okay. Got it.
Maybe this isn't the 30-day challenge for you.
Well, I think it's more about setting a personal routine.
Maybe so.
So I could get on board with that. Okay,
How about a startup side business doing what you love?
That sounds like a lot of pressure, but it also sounds like giving yourself 30 days to fully focus on something you've wanted to try. I like that better. It doesn't have to be like a side business where you have to automatically start to make money, but I do feel like setting the time aside to say, okay, I've had this idea in my head. I'm going to spend these 30 days researching how I might go about it. I'm going to make some personal connections with people who also do it and see what I can achieve. I like that better than do this all in 30 days or else type thing.
Right. When we decided to start Moms Unschooled, there was a lot of chats at the patio, really talking about issues or mom life that really concerned us or really made us passionate. And it's definitely more of a learning curve than 30 days. But man alive, when we decided to plunge into this world, it sure has proven positive. Give up TV or social media.
I'm behind that, so long as there's some parameters around that. Because, I mean, for example, I look up stuff on social media all the time about finding different things to do in the area, blah, blah, blah. But I like the idea of giving it up as far as using it to post what you're doing all the time or just look at other people's stuff. If you're not on it for a specific goal, then yeah, I say nix it. And I do think cutting back on TV and stuff, you will find how much time that really opens up. And then once you do, want to sit down for an hour or whatever, you're probably also more selective about what you end up watching.
Absolutely. At first I just wanted to say, nope, that's not for me. And as you're talking about it, Sarah, I really think I should make a more concerted effort with this one because we don't really watch TV during the day in our household. We're just doing other things. But the social media is right there on my phone, y'all. I mean, I'm homeschooling with my kids all day long. Maybe I need to make a more concerted effort to put the phone down, even though it is just right there, all of this information at the palm of my hand. My kids see me on this thing and have no idea what I'm doing. Even though most of the time it's something for them. I need to make a concerted effort to check that phone before they wake up in the morning and after they go to bed instead of all the hours in between.
Yes, or at least setting aside a time. I've read a couple articles about block scheduling and things like that. Only check your phone when you actually have time to respond to people. If it works for you, do it in the morning where you have time uninterrupted to actually respond or research what you need to or whatnot. And then maybe later at 3 o'clock or whatever, but you are controlling that time versus just randomly checking it and getting halfway engrossed in what you're seeing on the screen and halfway engrossed in what's going on around you, I think is the rationale behind this recommendation.
How about keeping a gratitude journal?
That's a sigh if you can't hear me. I'm not a big journaler. I love to write. I'm not a big journaler. I understand the intention behind identifying what you're grateful for, but it doesn't have to be a journal, people. It doesn't.
It would be on the back of junk mail for me, and that's just not how I roll. But I appreciate it in those and support those who are able to do that.
So how about a gratitude practice or habit? We'll just leave it at that.
wherever I may write it.
Yeah.
How about completing an act of kindness or giving a compliment? I remember when I first moved to Chicago, I was so young and I was this Midwestern girl. And yes, Chicago is in the Midwest, y'all. I am aware. However, small town USA, I thought Chicago was so mean and cold. And I noticed that I had put my head down and just kind of walked down the sidewalk and tried not to make eye contact or pay any attention. And my mom asked me one day, well, are you smiling at people? And I'd really stopped doing that. And all of a sudden, when I tried it the next day, I just smiled at every single stranger, which, let's be honest, that's more my personality anyway. And life looked a lot rosier that day.
I love this suggestion because it is something I consistently try to do, especially if I'm at a checkout counter or something like that. It's completely free to do. It changes the whole vibe of an interaction you're having with someone. Now, I have to stop myself sometimes because I'm like, what can I compliment them on? And I don't want to be dishonest and be like, oh, I like your ring when I really don't. But I try to at least find something to say. Like just the other day, I told the cashier at the shopette here, I just thanked her for always being so nice to my son because he always asked to go to that one because she's just like super kind and nice all the time. I don't even know if she even remembers us coming there in previous times, but it really changed her whole vibe. And I'm sure that helped her go on with her day being more positive as well.
Absolutely. You brightened her day, and in return, it brightens your day when you brighten someone's.
Cool. Okay, what's number 8?
Well, set time aside to devote to your favorite hobby, and then number 9 is exercising for 30 minutes. So for me, those two go hand in hand. And yes, I would like to make sure I'm devoting that kind of time to something I truly love. I mean, that's part of the me time, y'all. We all need a little bit of that me time. Man alive, if we could devote time to that thing that we love for 30 days, the month look a lot brighter.
Yeah, yoga with Adrienne always does like a New Year's challenge, and she has 30-day challenges. And the idea of this exercising for 30 minutes a day, you don't have to come up with all this stuff for yourself. Go on YouTube, find different programs that are already running for free and doing this. I think that's a good suggestion.
Absolutely. They mentioned reading a book just for fun.
I'm on board with that. Mine is more like, okay, when can I sit and read with no one interrupting me?
Fair. And that's why I love to listen to Audible while I'm running.
Yes.
I love number 11. It says, kick negative thoughts to the curb. I do. I feel like I'm a positive person. I think I say that in every episode, but this past year really got us all down, y'all. And it could be anything from get rid of the toxic people in your life to change your way of thinking. You know, the days that I feel a little bit more glass half empty, I'm the only one responsible for my thoughts and attitude.
That's true.
And I have to reverse that.
You're very conscious of that because I remember I called you recently and I actually really loved what you said. I said, what are you up to? And you said, just working on changing my bad attitude. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, so she's taking control of her feelings and
might be failing miserably.
Yeah, but you at least were like, it really struck me because I said, oh, she knows she's mad and she's going to change it instead of having a pity party about it. Or maybe you had the pity party, but you consciously decided
to have a glass of wine.
That you just weren't going to continue with it. Like you knew your attitude was bad and you weren't just going to say, oh, well, I'm in a bad mood and let that ruin the rest of your day.
Well, it's hard. And especially in the slump I feel like the whole world has been in this past year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to dig ourselves out of holes. And especially for 30 days.
Yeah.
I mean, even if I have a pretty good week and then I have a slump of a day, how am I going to get myself out of that?
Right.
That is a really interesting 30-day challenge.
Good.
Give up sweets or caffeine. We've already talked about that. That is one that would be manageable to do for 30 days and see how you feel afterwards. Mm-hmm. Don't buy anything new.
Okay, what is the rationale behind this?
So, of course, you're going to pay bills, buy the gas and the groceries. They're talking more about no purchasing things like clothing, gadgets, decor, fun items.
Is it to learn more delayed gratification? Like, what is their point?
I don't know. I mean, I think it could be your point. Is it to be less wasteful?
Okay.
Is it to help with the budget? Is it to see all of those things that you could have bought this month and how much you really didn't need them by next month? Or if they really would have given you joy or not? I mean, if you're thinking about it 45 days later, it may be something to think about again.
Okay.
But table all of those purchases and see what happens at the end of the month.
Like it.
I think it's interesting.
Did you know, I don't want to do it, but you know that there's a place on Amazon where you can see like your lifetime purchases.
Oh, my word.
I've had a couple friends do it and they're like, okay, well, we could have had 2 more cars. I like this idea. And not buying anything new for 30 days doesn't mean you can't get it later.
Right.
And like you said, I think the point is maybe you're working to teach yourself what do you actually really need and want versus are you just haphazardly spending money on the fly for different reasons that aren't as valuable.
Right. Budgetary issues, waste. Are we trying to be less wasteful as a family? Or, what is actually sparking joy in our lives?
Okay.
I love it. Donate or toss one item every day.
This is up my alley.
Yes, get it.
I have been working on just being more minimalist in different areas because I don't need things in my home that I don't love, are not, quote, bringing me joy. I'm not a huge Marie Kondo fan because like the difference between minimalism and organizing, there is a difference. Minimalism is realizing how little you actually need, whereas organizing is just organizing all your crap no matter how much it is. So there's a difference in those lifestyles. But the point is I don't want anything in my home that is not purposeful or that I don't love because otherwise it's taking up mental space, it's taking up physical space.
Time.
It's taking up time and I want no part of it.
I love that. I don't consider myself a minimalist. However, when
I have sold you a few things, but they look beautiful in your house.
Right, all in the corners of all the things I love. No, but I do try to get rid of stuff. I don't like clutter, even though I am not a minimalist. Although I would really like the idea of it one day, perhaps. I do like the idea of the 40 bags in 40 days. And this is essentially doing 30 bags in 30 days, which is you can literally clean out the junk drawer one day.
Yeah.
And if you get rid of a bag of stuff, you win.
Right. It doesn't even have to be a bag. That says one item. I don't know, just like cords. Why do we have so many cords? I was going through my desk drawer the other day. I was like, this cord is from like 2003 original Kindle version. Why is it in my home?
Right?
So whatever.
And I do feel like we get a chance to purge a lot more than the average bear, being that we move every 2 to 3 years.
Yes.
So this whole 30 bags in 30 days, 40 bags in 40 days, I really like doing that. Only use your smartphone for actual phone calls. Meh.
No, I think you can use it for research. I think maybe the point is don't use it just for
social media and it interrupting your day. Yeah, because constantly texting, surfing the internet, is it healthy? Is it contributing positively to your day? That's something you have to decide personally.
Right.
So here's some examples of some different 30-day challenges. I know some things I definitely want to work on after this conversation, and what kind of change allows you to be more present and in the moment this year. What is going to create a positive impact on you and your attitude and your family?
Thanks for listening to Moms Unschooled.
Subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, or email us at momsunschooled@gmail.com. Juicy!